So this is a Swift Kingsmere GT. We're going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, the jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake will take you through in person here on site. In the front locker, we have the gas bottle and gas connections. So you have your gas regulator up on the bulkhead and your gas bottle with the reverse thread fitment going into it. And on top of the gas bottle, you have your on and off valve for the gas supply itself. You can carry a maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane gas bottles on any caravan, and it has to be 2 essentially 6-kilo bottles that you're carrying rather than one large 12-kilo bottle. Coming down the side of the van, you have your water pump connection, which very simply pushes in with the blue. You pull the blue trigger back and push it into the side of the van, and to release it, you pull the blue trigger back and pull it out the side of the van. You'll drop your pump or the pickup pipe down into the aqua roll itself to allow the water to be picked up. And then on either side of the van at the front, you have a wind down leg. These wind down legs are only there to stabilise the caravan and not lift the caravan off the ground. If you do lift the caravan with the legs, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan itself. You have your heating and hot water vent here, so you need to remove this cover. So you'll pull the bottom of the cover out and put your thumb on the centre and pull the cover away before you ignite anything inside the van on gas. We do advise you just get into the habit of removing that every time you arrive on site so that you know it is removed. So if you do ever have to ignite anything on gas, you haven't got to worry about taking it off. You've then got your mains power lead coming into the side of the van, which plugs straight into the side here. And then you've got your battery box with your quick release battery connections on top of it. Then have your fridge vents. So this is for the back of the fridge unit essentially to allow the hot air out the fridge. Behind one of these you have a gas flue also for when the fridge is running on gas. The motor mover and wheels. So the motor mover will demonstrate while you're here on site so you can see it all operational. And the wheel nuts will be torqued to the manufacturer's spec setting before the caravan leaves site. And we'll also do this in front of you so you can see it has been done. On the side of the van you have the 2 grey waste pipes coming out the side. And you'll have 2 bits of grey waste pipe that go into these larger circles on the outside and push into place, so that the caravan, so the fresh water that goes in the front and goes through the sink and the shower, comes out the side of the van and they'll drop down into your waste master. The little door that you see here is actually for your toilet flush tank. So this tank will take 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid. In the bottom you have your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling up the yellow handle on the bottom and pulling the cassette towards you. The neck here will turn out to allow you to tip the waste away. And on the back of the cassette you have a yellow pressure relief button that you can press in while you're tipping the waste away so it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Before you use the cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water in here and a cap full of the blue fluid. Essentially that blue fluid will break down any waste that goes into the cassette. On the back of the van, as you can see, we've got a wind down leg again, and again you wouldn't use these for lifting the van, again they're for stabilising, and you have one of these on each side at the back of the van. On the door side of the caravan, I do apologise, we're in the workshop, we normally do this outside, but just try to save some time. We've got the door here at the front of the van that allows you into the wet locker, so if you've got any wet accessories that you want to put in there while you're travelling or when you're using the caravan, you can store them away in there and lock them away safely. Again, below that you've got the wind down leg, and at the front you've got the barbecue gas point, which the connections are available in our shop on site through Colin. Going inside the van, as I said, the caravan is still in the workshop, so it hasn't been cleaned yet, so bear with us on that side of it. Coming into the caravan, you'll notice, like I said, the van is being worked on, but we'll take you through how the systems work. So above the, So in the cabinet on the right hand side of the van, the wardrobe essentially, you'll notice you have some control panels. So what you've got is, you've got the option to run the car power supply or the caravan power supply. Now what that is relevant to is when you're charging the battery on the caravan or operating the fridge as a cool box. You have your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment. You have your battery voltage here at the top, and you can test the battery voltage by pressing the test button just here. Then got your mains consumer unit below, and below that you have your main power switch for the space heater, the electric water heater, and the battery charger for the caravan itself. You'll need to have this on to make any 12-volt system work on board the van, and also the lighting, as you'd expect. So the water heater, generally, if you've got no water on the van, you would always make sure this is turned off. However, once the water system's filled, if you flick this switch on, it'll actually allow you to warm the water up on electric. So talking of the water system, I'm actually going to take you through now how to fill it. Underneath the seat at the front of the caravan, as you can see, there is a yellow valve just next to the water pump, just here in the video. That yellow valve needs to be parallel with the floor before you can fill the water system up. If that valve is pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat on the caravan, it will actually drain all of the water back out to the bottom of the van. So to fill the system, once you've got that valve parallel with the floor, you can come over to each tap on the caravan and you'll need to open all the taps up on the hot side of the water heating. You will actually notice I've already bled the system, so it's ready to go. But you'd open all these taps up on the hot side, so that's a tap in the bathroom, the tap in the kitchen, and also the tap in the washroom as well, which is currently in the shower format at the top there, but that can actually retract, so it goes in the front of the tap here, so it works as a tap for the shower, for the sink itself. So like I said, you open all the taps up on the hot side, you come back to the control panel inside here with the red light above it, just here, and you turn the water pump on. Unfortunately, it's a bit dark in the cupboard, so I can't show you. So you may not be able to see it too well, but as you can see, it says pump next to it, and you'll make sure that switch is in the down position, so the water system starts running. Once the water system is filled, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on the caravan, as you can see here, and then you can shut each tap off, and you can start warming the water on board the caravan. So I've shown you the electric side of the water heating. The other side of the water heating is the gas option. So on the other side of the van, where you've got your telly, aerial connections, etc., you'll see these two controls. This one here on the right hand side that says Ultra Store above it, think of it as a water store rather than thinking of it as the Ultra Store. To ignite the water system on gas, you can spin this outer grey dial to the flame symbol that you'll see on the right side here. The boiler's just clicked to ignite. The gas should be turned on, but when it ignites, essentially this green light here is the pilot light for the gas system. If you get a red light appear behind here, it actually means it's failed to ignite at that particular occasion of trying to ignite. So as it has done now, so the gas isn't turned on. But once it has ignited, you can control the water temperature between 30 and 70 degrees on the dial just here. So that's your gas water heating. To turn the gas supply back off, you'll very simply spin that dial back round to the 0 on the side, and that will allow the gas supply to be off. The next dial to the left of it is the electric heating for the caravan. Now down the side, you'll notice you've got 500, 1000 and 2000. That relates to the amount of watts coming into the caravan that you're going to run your heating on. So depending on what caravan site you're on, will depend on what power supply or what number down the side here you actually have it set on. For instance, here on site, we run most things on 500 watts. So we can spin the dial around to the 500 watt option here. Green light just lit up to let me know it come on. And then once it's on, you can control the temperature of the heater on the dial in the center here. If you want to isolate the power again to it, so you've got no heating on at all, you can spin it back to the off position. But where the 0 is on the side here is where you'll line the number up with to what you want the temperature to warm up, or the caravan to warm up to. So like I said, at the moment, if I have it there, it'll be on 7, and all the way around here, it'll be on 1. On the heater itself, you've got the option to run gas, and it has got a manual igniter on here, so you've got the igniter on the side. To get it to ignite, you'll spin the dial around on top to between 10 and 9, hold down the gas valve, and once it ignites, you'll get a pilot light in this window at the front. Once it's ignited, you'll hold down the gas valve for 5 to 10 seconds to allow the thermocouple to warm up, and then once it has been held in for 5 to 10 seconds, you can slowly release the gas valve and control the temperature of the fridge on the heater itself on the dial on top. So a bit like your gas barbecue or your cooker when you're controlling between 1 and say 5 on your electric or gas rings. On the opposite side, you've got the option to run blown air heating. So you've got your fan speed for the blown air heating on top. The dot in the centre here indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater. Yeah, I do apologise, the video hasn't cleared up very well. There we go. The dot here will allow the heat to come out the front of the heater. The wave symbol on the left hand side, allows you to turn on the blown air heating, and that's where this dial on top comes in to control the fan speed. And if you have it on the A on the right hand side, essentially the blown air heating will kick in and out with the thermostat on the van. To operate the fridge, again, very simple to do. On the front of the fridge, you have several options. You have a power button on the left hand side, to control the power supply you want to use. So you've got 240 mains, and you can temperature control on the right hand side for the gas and electric operation. You have 12 volt for when you're towing down the road, and that's where the switch in the cupboard becomes relevant, because you'd need to have that on carb before the fridge will work as a cool box. So essentially, if you want to chill the buds and the bottle of wine ready for when you get to site, you can then have a nice cold drink while you're setting the van up. You can come across to the gas option if you wish to. Again, the fridge will self-ignite on gas with the gas turned on at the front. If it ever fails to ignite the first time you do it, I advise you come over to the hob, ignite the hob, get the gas through on the hob system first, and then, because that is the last point on the gas system. The blue light here at the bottom indicates that the fridge is ignited. If that is ever flashing, it actually means it has failed to ignite. And if it does fail to ignite, you'll actually get a 9 symbol here and a spanner symbol next to it, as you can see here, right on cue. Like I said, you will also control the temperature of the fridge on gas on the bottom, the button on the right hand side. Turn the fridge off, you'll press and hold the power button at the bottom, and it'll allow it to turn off. Cooker, hob, grill and microwave, very similar to household items. Microwave, turn the dial, select the time you need, and that will ping when it's done. And then the oven below, igniter on the front as you'd expect to see, and the 240 electric ring at the back will only work when you're connected to mains power. It will not work off any other or the 12 volt supply on board the caravan. In the bathroom, you've got an electric flush on the toilet, so you press the button on top to allow the toilet to flush. You've got a full indicator light here to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is full. And on the right hand side of the toilet, as you are sitting on it, you have this waste flap which you'll need to open up into this position to allow the toilet waste to go in the cassette under the van. We do advise you open that beforehand, then shut it afterwards, so that the toilet, so no smells come back inside the van essentially, and so the toilet waste can go down. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience. However, when you are emptying the cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure the toilet seat is pointing straight across towards the door of the caravan, because it has 2 lockout tabs on it that will essentially lock the toilet waste cassette in place. If you have any further questions on the Swift Kingsmere GT, please ask us while you're here on site for your handover, or if you've already taken the van at this point, please do give us a call and we'd be more than happy to help. We thank you for your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site in the future. Thank you very much again, and goodbye.